So as we have nearly between 16 and 18 million Adventists on the books. And if we were to actually look at the numbers that God needs, it would be much, much less than that. Even if 3 or 4 of us come. But I pray it won't be that. I mean, I pray it'll be explosive too. But only if 3 or 4 of us gave our hearts totally to God and said, Lord, unlimited, use me for whatever you need. Guess what would happen? There would be an explosion. It doesn't take many. God can finish it. Today we're going to focus on God and God alone. I work for the church. I love my work. I did that for 15 years. I was employed on a salary. I worked in Peru, worked in Bolivia, been on union committees for years, still am. It's wrestled with the issues that the church wrestles with. I wrote the accounting systems for 2 different unions and did auditing, flew airplanes, taught in colleges, hospital administration, a wide variety of things. And I tell you, I loved with a passion my work. I get up every day looking for more. But 15 years later, I was in Trinidad and Tobago. My children were getting older, and I was thinking of going home to the U.S. to educate my children. And then I had a crisis. Lord, I've always been a missionary. I've always worked for the church, and now I'm going back to the U.S. What am I going to do for a living? I could find a job. Should I go into business? Should I think differently? But somehow I wrestled with God and I said, I wanted to do something great for you. I enjoyed my work, but I didn't change any countries. I wanted to change nations. So I pray, Lord, what went wrong? Surely the problem is not you, it's me. What did I do wrong? And I thought back, why could I not have done something greater for the Lord? And I realized I didn't have enough money. Why? If I had enough money, I could have done greater things. For lack of money, we had sold mission airplanes. For lack of money, we didn't have operating funds. For lack of money, we closed 4 hospitals in the Inca Union. For lack of money, we closed some schools. For lack of money. And then I began to realize, excuse me, what does God's Word say about money? And in Haggai 2:8, it says, all the silver and all the gold is mine. Right? And then Psalms 55. If I were hungry, I wouldn't tell you, for all the world is mine and the fullness thereof. Excuse me, if all is yours and we claim to be your people, then why don't we have enough resources to do the work that you told us to do? I was in Brazil the other day and I saw a t-shirt in Portuguese. I am not the owner of the world. I am only the son of the owner. I looked at that t-shirt. How many times do I act like the son of the owner? Why? I came into Berlin the other day. I landed there, and the immigration officer says, Guten Tag, Herr Gates. Bist du der Bruder of Bill Gates? You could understand that one very good, huh? And I said, no, I've only met him and spoke with him twice, but I don't think we're related. And so we laughed and I went on. But what if I was the son of Bill Gates? How would I act differently? I'm not old enough. I mean, I'm too old to be a son, but I could be a related family member. But what if I was a son? Well, I think that I would probably not worry about where the money is coming from. I would make plans according to whatever I needed to do, and I knew there would be enough money. But as I work for God and administer His resources and work in His organization and His church, how do I do things in relation to I am the son of the owner of the world? Well, I had this problem. I didn't know the answer. Because I was teaching big graduate business classes. I taught bank presidents. They were my students. I taught people from the Ministry of Finance. And many of them were not Christian. And I wanted to learn the answers because if you just teach normal business, they get their degree, their MBA, they go back, they get a raise in salary, and we've educated some business people. But that doesn't change the world. Being a bank president doesn't change the world. Being a wealthy bank president doesn't change the world. What changes the world? Something radical. An explosion changes the world. So I began to I began to do some research, and I discovered that God is more than willing to pour out His resources. The problem is not His. In fact, He promises, He says, ask and it shall be given, doesn't He? But He also says, give and it shall be given. So, there's some secrets to receiving. The secret to receiving is giving. So I said, but how can you give more than what you got? And I also discovered that the kind of giving God really rewards is called sacrificial giving. Not just giving, well, I have 1,000, I think I'll give 10. That's not sacrificial giving. How about I have 1,000, I think I'll give 1,000. That's called sacrificial giving. What if I have 2 coins and I give 2 coins? That's why the widow in the Bible is so rewarded in the Bible. Millions of souls will no doubt be in heaven through her example, encouraged by her example. So I said, Lord, I want to learn. What do I do? God said, you really want to learn the principles? There are principles. Yes, I want to learn. Are you sure you're willing to pay the price? Well, what does it mean? It means that you may have to go through some training. You don't get to the Olympics by lying in bed. If you want to gain muscles, you're going to have to do some exercise. And now, I'm in Bolivia. My friends call me El Químico, the chemist. And I say, why you call me El Químico? Well, because looking at you, David, you have nothing of physical. And that's true. If I look in the mirror, I almost don't even cast a shadow in the sun. And when I turn sideways, people go right by me, they don't even see me. But the truth is that spiritually, it's exactly the same as physically. If you want to grow spiritually, it takes exercise and it takes discomfort. What do they say in English? No pain, no gain. It's nice to preach in English because when you preach in another language, the translation doesn't come out the same. No pain, no gain. And so I said, Lord, I want to learn. What do I have to do? Well, the conference president for Guyana called me, said, David, you're a mission pilot. I'm going to be renting a plane and flying 200 miles into the jungles today, in a few days to see the Indians. I only do this once every 4 years. Would you be willing to fly with me? I said, I would love to. I've never been to see the Davis Indians. Elder Davis, O.E. Davis.